When you start learning the language, it feels like drinking from a fire hose. Too many words. No idea how to keep them in your memory. In this video, I'll show you my exact workflow using Google Sheets and an application called Anki cards, so that you can capture every word and actually remember it. Hi there, I'm Zhenya, an ex-Guardian information designer, a certified project manager, and a PhD in complex systems. I help people create systems around any processes that make their life easier. I recently started learning Spanish, and knowing me, you would probably won't be surprised to know that I have decided to create a spreadsheet around my vocabulary capture. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 3 technologies. Obviously Google Spreadsheets, Anki cards, which is an iPhone, Android, and desktop app, an open source, my personal favorite, that is based on the science of spaced repetition. So it shows you things you want to remember in a specific time sequence. And the third technology is your phone, obviously, because you need to be able to have something which is very close to you to remove friction around capturing vocabulary and also repeating it. Yeah. And here is what my spreadsheet looks like. Yeah. So let's go to part 1. I don't have a video editor yet, so you have to imagine how this moment is going to be like part 1 title. And the one important thing about it, actually, I want to show you here, is how to remove the friction around your phone to begin with. Yeah. So first thing you want to do is when you create your spreadsheet, you need to add it to your home screen. Yeah. So this is Android, but I'm guessing once I get iPhone, I'll probably do like another round, show how to do it in Android, but essentially what you wanna achieve is that you have this group on your phone. You have this group on your phone. That's all for my language learning. Yeah, so there's Duolingo, but there's also Anki cards, and there's the spreadsheet for capturing. Yeah. So what you wanna do is you wanna have your spreadsheet like that. So when you click on it, it opens and it's ready to go. You just enter your words here. Yeah, so that's what you want to do. And the way you do it is, again, no video editor, but imagine there's like a nifty big front and center phone screen which actually shows you the walkthrough. But essentially what you want to do, you want to go to your Sheets app, gives you a list of all your apps. Then you go to the vocabulary capture app, and you need to find the option which says add to home screen, like that. Once you go in there, it offers you the option to add to home screen, and this technology is going to change probably, but the main idea is that you need to be able to have it on your phone screen so that you click on it and it's there immediately in front of you. Yes, so that's the big thing about being able to do this. Let me see. Yes, perfect. That's one important thing that you need to do first and foremost. Second is the actual setup of your Google Sheet. Yeah. So this is my real sheet that I use in class, and the same one you have in your phone. And what essentially it has here is that it has this main column, which is target word, which is where you enter your word. And importantly, there's also this other column, which is called translation notes. And essentially what this means is that sometimes when you are in conversation or in class, there's not only the word which needs to be translated, there's also some instructions around it. Maybe it's not translated in the same way as would the regular dictionary would have it, or maybe there's some context around it that you want also to write down, and that's where this column comes really handy. So you capture the word, you capture the context about this word, then what the formula columns do, and you will see also one good trick about formula columns is that you always go here and you make them gray. because you want to differentiate columns which are manual data entry from the formula columns, because you don't want to accidentally delete your formulas. So essentially this gray color means don't touch those columns. If you want to delete something, don't delete it here. Yes, so as you can see here, you have a Google Translate formula, which is super nice, because if you have in your word, for example, abajo, yeah, you want to enter it here, and what it does, it provides you the translation of the word immediately. Yeah, so you want that. You want to add instructions, custom instruction. For example, also means downstairs. Yeah, like because someone told me, oh, this word means below, but actually it also means downstairs. So I have my notes, I have my word, I have my English translation, and what these columns do, and they obviously also need to be gray because they're formula. You see that this column enters the comma, and this column concatenates everything. And you can catch it from a video, but I also once I have this template available on my website, you can go on my website and download this template, so you don't have to rewrite all the formulas. Essentially, here you have the concatenation of these two with a comma. So this inserts the comma, and this has the whole shebang in one place, and that's really useful when you import it somewhere else. So you have original translation and also any notes that you have all in one place. That's the formula magic. English translation column is the same formula magic as the English word. It's essentially Google Translate. When you have the Spanish sentence example here, it will automatically translate it to English, which is super nice. And this also the Cloze column formula, which is important. And this is important to understand about Anki, because what essentially, at least what works for me, and I'm sure it might also work for you, is that in Anki, and let me show you on the video editor. If you're a video editor, get in touch with me, because I need someone to actually put it all together as an edited video. So essentially, what you see here, ignore the reflection on my phone. But what you want to have is this missed word. So you want to have your target word as it's called a closed caption, which means it's omitted from the sentence. Yeah, so you have, where is it? Hold on. Yeah, so you see there's a Spanish sentence with a missed word, and there's also an English translation of that sentence. This works for me because then makes it easy for me to remember. My Spanish teacher also says that you need to actually associate the word with an object. Sometimes it doesn't always work, because obviously not all words are objects, but if you wanna know how to set up your Anki to include images and everything, and how to set up your decks from scratch and everything, please go into this video, which I hope I will record soon, which is going to be all about Anki setup, because it's a really nice application. So you want to do that, and that's how it works in Google Sheet. Yeah. So whenever you have a sentence, for example, you can go to the real world spreadsheet, and you can see that this closed column essentially compares here, and if the same word appears in the English, in the Spanish translation of Spanish example sentence, it creates an entry which is closed caption in that word. And that's what you want when you import things to Anki. And that's about formula magic. Yeah, we're gonna get to the actual sample sentences in the column in a bit. And the final column magic is the priority column, and this is quite important. Also comes from as an advice from my Spanish teacher, that you need to filter, because you capture so many words, especially if you're learning, if you're in a class, you capture all this vocabulary and not all of it is immediately useful. Maybe you need a facility to separate super urgent words that you need to start learning right now from other words, maybe super literary terms that you know it's not so urgent. Yeah, so that's why I created this priority column, which has a drop down with high, medium, low priority, and out. High means urgently needs to learn, medium is fine for now, just regular rhythm, and low is something those are super specific words that you may not want to start learning straight away, but you can have them also in your app just in case you have extra time to repeat words. Out is essentially for the words that I like duplicates mostly. Like if you go to this one, for example, you filter the view, you can see that if you filter just out, you can see that, select all, I guess, you can see that I mark out everything which is like these words, for example, I entered them several times. This word I entered several times, or maybe just a lot of words that you don't, you need to have, you can get rid of some words for one reason or another, and you mark them as out. That's why there's a column out. And the way you create, and how do you create the drop down? That's also a good question. And you can watch this video right there, which where I give a quick introduction on this, and essentially it's called data validation. Yeah. So the way I do it, and somehow it works for me, is that I create a new tab in Google Sheet, which is called data, where I enter all my variables. In this case, they're only variables for priority. And I go into the data validation, yeah, and then create a rule, which gives me these options, and you can also assign colors to them if you like. And you will find more details about how to do it. And essentially, like, this is my good practice, at least I do it in every spreadsheet. Like all my variables go into a separate tab. That's about formula magic. I think that's pretty much it about it. If you like this kind of content, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any other updates from me about systems in your daily routines, and specifically Google Sheets. Right. Part 2. No titles for now, but this is going to be part 2 here. Exporting and maintaining spreadsheets. And actually, before going to that, let's talk about Spanish sentence examples, because if you remember, I like the examples. Yeah. So I like it to be like this. So I have my Spanish word, Spanish sentence with a captioned word. For this to work, I need Spanish sentence examples, which I usually don't have because I don't have time to record them in class. I just have time to quickly type in the word and then I just listen to the class. Yeah. But this is not a problem because we have ChatGPT to do this for us, right? Like artificial intelligence to the rescue. So filter. I select everything, I create a filter view, and first of all, I take out all the out words because I don't want them. So now I have only high, low, and medium priority words. And you can actually mark, because these are blanks, but I want to have them as medium priority. Medium, like this. This is all my medium priority. And I want medium, high, and low. And I want Spanish sentence examples for all of them. Yeah. So I have this ChatGPT prompt, which I'm gonna copy downstairs in the description box, and essentially it goes as follows. Where is it? Yeah, this is the prompt. Go to ChatGPT, your chat, and you paste this prompt. Yeah, so the prompt says vocabulary table generator, Spanish language assistant. You generate a table vocabulary reference. It's essentially what it does. It takes an input of all your Spanish words, and it outputs it as a table with 2 columns, your Spanish word and the example using the sentence. And I'm gonna copy and paste all these words here. So target word. However, you want to copy them from here and you paste them below. Come on. And you paste them below. And what you want, because it outputs it, and obviously there's also another condition that if it's over 100 words, because there's a limitation in ChatGPT apparently, so if it's over 100 words, it's going to output it in a 100-word chunk. In my case, it's like 700 probably. So it's going to output on the first 100, and then it's going to ask, can I proceed? And you say, yes, proceed. And you want to create a new column actually. So you right click, insert column left, which is going to be a temporary column, temporary Spanish word column. This is something you're going to delete because it's just for comparison purposes here. So you're going to grab all these example sentence users. You go here and you're going to paste here. So I'm going to put common V, probably is going to work. So what you want to look at when you paste is that the value in this cell is corresponding to this, because you don't want wrong you don't want the wrong usage. Yes, you need to make sure that the word abogado is what you have in the example sentence, and you cross check, and if you have more than 100, then you go back to ChatGPT and it asks you, shall I proceed? And you tell it to proceed, and then you rinse and repeat with everything. But imagine everything is cool, you don't need that column anymore, so you delete it, and you magically have all your examples here, and you see that it also automatically translates with the Google Translate formula in this column. And also you see the magic formula happens here too. The formula magic, yeah. So it looks for this word in this sentence, and then it creates, with this formula, it replaces the word with surrounds it by the curly brackets, which for Anki means that it's going to be the closed caption. And that's how you do the Spanish sentence examples. Alrighty, right. Now what you want to do is to export 3 spreadsheets or 3 CSV files for Anki, which you're going to import into Anki cards. Yeah, because one good feature of Anki is that it can take any tabular data from any Google Sheets or Excel, etc., and it imports it really nicely. And this is why you will notice I have this nifty trick where I mark column names with X and V, which tells me that these columns, V columns, are going to be important, X columns are not going to be imported. I don't need them for the final output. It's just for my own purposes in this specific spreadsheet. So what I want to do, I want to start with high priority. So just have high priority words, and I'm going to copy paste them. Yeah, whichever way you want to copy paste everything here. And I have this EXP column. And yeah, maybe a quick note also on Google Sheets housekeeping. Yeah, this is going to be another section for the video editor. So the housekeeping for the Google Sheet, this one, is that you obviously have a data. You have 3 main tabs here. Data tab with all the variables. New is where you actively capturing words, and EXP is the one where you paste them for Anki. Anki import, yeah. So, and the rest of them are the archive tabs which you can name with the month and year, for example, or in this case, I'm gonna have like week 1 of my Spanish course. So you copy from here. Where do you copy from? Yeah, you copy from here all the high priority words, and you go to your XP tab, and you paste them as values only, because you only want values. Then you remove the ones which you don't want. We marked with an X. Spanish sentence. Yeah, apparently you don't want Spanish sentence anymore because you want only the close sentence. So you have target word Spanish, target word English, English translation of the sentence, and the closed translation of the Spanish sentence with a closed caption. And then you go, because for some crazy reason Google Sheets doesn't allow you to export directly the filter view. You need to paste it into a separate tab. You paste it and you download, and you have it here. You name it high priority. Already have one. Let's go that one. That's going to be your high priority list. And obviously rinse and repeat with low priority. Gives you list. Medium priority gives you list. Rinse and repeat the same thing. So copy whichever way you want to copy. Command C in my case. Go into this tab, delete everything, paste as values. Remove the columns you don't want. Export, download as CSV. And that's the step that moves you forward. And when we go to Anki, one thing to mention is that, yes, click on this video to learn more about how to set up Anki. Let me see what we have here. We have because basically you have it on the web, you also have it on your phone, and you want to have it on your phone, yeah. And it's very simple, nice and easy. It has all the decks, and here you see. Hold on, let me show you the big screen. Video editor. This is what video editor is going to do. It's going to show my mobile screen, and you see I have 3 decks for high priority, low priority, and medium priority. And that's where I want to import my spreadsheets into. And you see that it also synchronizes here on top. So every time you import things on desktop, you can synchronize with this. And it actually works. It's my preferred way. I think there were a few, and I'm gonna do a proper review of similar apps similar to Anki alongside the actual Anki review, and then we will see how Anki compares to other market players. But for now, it feels like Anki is the winner actually, because it's really flexible in a way what you can import into it. Here you can see the decks. And yes, and also this is in the browser, but what you really want is you want to download it as a desktop application, and it's basically like a standalone agent. Yeah, you have all your decks here. And what you want to do, let me check if I'm on track here. Yes. So essentially, I'm gonna explain it all in a different video, because it's a lot to take in. Like Anki is, you just need to wrap your head around it. But essentially, you want to import. You're gonna grab your CSV, and then it's gonna show you comma separated. And it's going to show you all your spreadsheet fields, and you can select how you map them. Yeah. So I keep the name in the same, and I'm going to explain in another video how you create a template. Cloze is going to be Cloze. English sentence translation is going to be English translation. Target words Spanish is going to be target word Spanish. Target word English is going to be target word English, which is an English translation of your word, and nothing, which means all these columns are going to be mapped into this Anki card field. And you click import, and it basically grabs all your words into it. And that's pretty much all the Anki magic. It's quite easy once you wrap your head around it. I know it's a lot to take in at the moment, so let's let's park this for, let's bear with me for a moment. Yeah, like I'm gonna create a separate video about that, about the templates, fields, and everything, so that you can see. Yeah, and you can actually then you can look at your cards here. High priority, Spanish high priority deck, and you can see that all your words are imported. And when you preview, you can see that it captions things the way you want it. Yes, this is it. The housekeeping for the spreadsheet, that's quite important. So once you've completed everything, you want to go back to your new spreadsheet. In my case, it's new spreadsheet, yeah, because I had all my words. For example, imagine I have all of this reviewed and sorted in my new tab, quote unquote new tab here, right? I don't want this anymore because I already downloaded everything. So what I do, I'm gonna duplicate this tab. I'm gonna call it September 25. And this is going to be my archive tab, yeah. And I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to remove everything. And that's why you want to keep your formula columns grayed out, because you don't want to delete anything which is in formula shape. You only want to select these columns which are have manual data in them, delete everything. Now they're nice and clean, ready to go. Now, if you go back to your mobile version, you can see that it's all clean, and you can continue capturing your words. And all the words that you already reviewed, they're all in Anki now. Yes. And let me show you actually, once again, my super duper makeshift simplistic video shooting layout. Again, I really apologize. I'm gonna make it better for you. So how it works is that you go, let me show you. You have all your decks here. You wanna start with high priority, yeah? It shows you the number of words here you need to repeat. You go to high priority. You have your sentence, your closed caption. You remember the word, you click in the bottom to show the answer. It shows you translation and the full sentence, and then there are 4 buttons in the bottom, yeah? So if you cannot remember the word at all, you click on again. If it's kind of, you can remember it, but it takes you a very long time, it's hard, then if it's okay, then it's good. And if it's easy and you don't want to see that word anymore, you just click on easy, and it pushes. So basically it depends on how far in the future it pushes the word, yeah? So easy means it's going to jump pretty far away. If you can't remember it at all, it's going to come again in like a couple of minutes. And yeah, that's how kind of Anki spaced repetition science works. Yeah, so it shows you like the words that you cannot remember, it shows you to you more often than the words that you're familiar with. And yes, so one last but not least important thing, and this is part 3 part 3 of the video. Sorry it's taken a long time, but I'm gonna try to put it like on double speed so that you don't have to watch it for half an hour, especially with Anki. One important thing is that you need to develop a routine of how you repeat the words, yeah? And here, again, it's removing the friction, yeah? So you have it always front and center on your mobile. And one nice rule that I like to use here is it's called implementation intentions, which means that you need to connect your habit of Anki to another repeating process during your day. For example, every time I brush my teeth, I open my Anki app and I repeat a few words. Or if I go to the loo, or if, I don't know, I do some other thing, which I do every day. And one important thing is that you don't, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to repeat everything, like the whole shebang at the same year, because you see that it kind of shows you, let me see, like here in the top it shows you how many words you still have to repeat now before it's over. And you see sometimes it's a lot, like some decks show like there's like 30 cards. There's no pressure to repeat all of them. If you do like 2-3 minute slots a few times a day, you can actually go through all of them. And if you cannot go through all of them in one day, if it's too many, you go into these 3 dots on the top, and there's a deck options. I think this is deck options. And what it shows you here is that this in the top is how many cards you want to have every day. You can change that number to, now it's 10. I think default is 10, but you can actually do, I don't know, if you don't have time to repeat, if there's a lot of words that you cannot remember, you can change it to 5. Or if it's too easy, then you can add more. You can do like 20 new words every day, things like that. So that's, and it's no pressure. You just repeat them whenever you have time. And yes, that's all. So just to reiterate, in order to implement the system, you need to have three things pulled together, 3 things. One is to set up your Google spreadsheet so that you remove the friction from capturing the words and anything you want to add about each word. Then it should be front and center on your mobile home screen. Second is you need to be able to review the words and import them like in a spreadsheet and import them into Anki. And third is to have a really strong Anki cards routine, which kind of makes you to repeat them daily. That's the three things. And yes, if you want to know more, like obviously this is a video about Anki, and there's also a few other videos here about other Google Sheets systematic way of life or way of living tips and tricks. All right, and I'll see you next time. See you.